Hey folks, welcome back to Project 40. Quick video today because tomorrow is the big day. We are finally getting to do what I've dreamed of since getting the Cayenne way back in October. We are taking this car back home to Stuttgart and the Porsche Museum. It's 1,100 miles round trip, which is a lot of fuel. I'm hoping 300 litres, maybe a little bit less if I'm lucky, so about sort of 3 tanks or just under. But it's a big journey for this car. And I just want to walk you through a couple of things that I'm doing in preparation and a couple of things that I've done to get this car ready to go to Stuttgart. Let's get started. And the first place is starting with the wheels. I've had all 4 wheels refurbished. This is actually my second spare set that I bought for off-roading that I never got fitted due to obviously all the mechanical calamity that I've endured since October. But this was really important to get sorted because the original sets that came with the car were developing essentially like a wobble around sort of 70 miles an hour, which was manageable and it wasn't necessarily a safety issue. But again, when I was thinking about the ride to Germany, and obviously the roads are a little bit faster there, I wanted to make sure that the wheels were 100%. And so what I did was essentially take the this new set and drop them off to the refurbishers Alloy Art locally and basically get this set refurbished. Now there is one slight downside in that these are turbo alloys, not turbo S's, which doesn't sound very important, but on the turbo S's they're essentially staggered, and so the rear wheels are a little bit larger, but for now I don't think it's going to make much of a difference for this trip because I'm just going to worry about getting there safely there and back rather than blasting at top speed on the autobahn.
And most of them look okay, apart from this one, which does have quite a chunky weld.
Just generally make sure they're all sort of straight before putting them back on.
So I suspect
but for now, this set will be
and
really good. A no long trip to Europe or anywhere would be complete without making sure that you've got some spare parts and tools, because although I'm hoping that the Cayenne doesn't break down, you might as well prepare for the worst. So I've actually got this big old box just filled with fluids and tools and all that sort of thing, because hopefully, as I said, it doesn't break down. But if it does, I want to make sure that at least I can figure out what the problem is by the roadside. I do have European breakdown cover, but that's only going to really tow me to a garage rather than fix the issue there and then, most likely. But I'm hoping that the car is okay. I've driven about sort of 600 miles since the repairs and the car hasn't missed a beat. It has felt really, really well sorted together and generally fine. But I'm still nervous because this is an old car. It's done now 164,000 miles and I'm about to put on 1,100 in just 3 days. It's a big ask for a car. Like I said, I'm going to be taking it slow and steady because that's what wins the race. But I want to make sure that, you know, I can at least top up any fluids that drop down. So power steering, oil, coolant, lots of gaffer tape, you know, all the sort of tools that I think I'm going to need. This is where I'm going to be sitting for 1,100 miles, and thankfully it is a fantastically comfortable place to be. I've cleaned up all the leather and it feels and smells amazing, so at least I will be comfortable on my way to Stuttgart. And I've also fixed the air conditioning, because when the timing chain had to be done, the air conditioning system had to be sort of depressurized. So I've been waiting to get that done because, let's face it, the weather hasn't really warranted it. But now the kind of spring has really started to come on. It's like a nice, beautiful sort of 18 degrees here at the moment, which is absolutely fabulous. But it has indicated that maybe getting the aircon done would be a good idea for that trip because, you know, it's a long way to go and you want to be in comfort, right? So that is one other thing that we've sorted for this trip. It is going to be a heck of a journey, and I don't know if I'm going to make it there, and I sure as heck don't know if I'm going to make it back, but I hope so, because we've invested a lot in this car, both spiritually, morally, financially, into the Cayenne, and I think it can do the trip. You know, nothing that is indicated to me over the last sort of 600-700 miles has said that this is going to break down. Could that be famous last words? We'll have to find out. But I'm excited, nervous, because this is my first European road trip on my own. You know, that's a long way to go solo, and also I don't have that much time to do it. I'm leaving tomorrow morning and I need to be back on Wednesday. So that's a lot of driving, and one thing that I have booked in just to break up the journey a little bit is on the way down to Stuttgart, swinging by the Nürburgring, because what way to recover from lots of driving than to do a lap around the ring. So that'll probably be a separate video, but I am super stoked to get back to the Nürburgring. It's been a couple of years since I last drove, and I'm going to be using a rental service called Rent for Ring. I've used them before when they had their Suzuki Swift Sports, but now they've got Mini Cooper S's that have been tricked out. That should be absolutely hellaciously fun on the Nürburgring. So I can't wait to get out there tomorrow, clear the air, clear the pipes, and just go around the ring for 1 or 2 laps, and then get back on the road to Stuttgart, because it nicely just breaks up the journey. You know, from Calais to the Nürburgring is about sort of 4 hours, and then from the ring to Stuttgart is 3 hours. So that way I can go to the Nürburgring, go to see the sights, the smells, the sounds, do a lap or 2, and then slowly trundle from the Nürburgring to Stuttgart, and then collapse at the hotel, have a nice nap, and then on the Tuesday go around the Porsche Museum, and then hopefully, if I have time, the Mercedes-Benz Museum as well, because the Mercedes-Benz Museum is supposed to be epic, and the Porsche Museum isn't that big, so hopefully I can probably get that done in a couple of hours, and that frees up the day for the rest of the Mercedes-Benz Museum, which is absolutely massive. So I'm really excited about what's to come. And one other thing I've done is given this car a clean. You know, I want to make sure that as we're doing sort of 1100 miles, that this paintwork is as reasonably smooth, cutting through the air as possible, because, you know, any extra resistance, that's going to cost me MPG. I'm not really aiming for an MPG challenge on this one, but I'm really interested to see what this 2.5 ton, 521 brake horsepower, ultimate SUV can really do. If I can get something in the region of 25, 26 miles to the gallon, I will be delighted. If I can get 30, I will be ecstatic, and you know, you can bet your ass I'll be crowing about that on Instagram. So if you're not following me at Project 40 Cars, you should be, because I'm going to be posting all of the live updates on my journey. Hopefully good, maybe bad, maybe a little bit of both. I'll let you know. But if you want to keep up with me, follow me on Instagram, because that's where you're going to get the beating pulse of this journey. With that, I'm going to bring this video to a close. If you've watched this far, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you consider liking and subscribing. And with that, I'm going to get this car ready to go, and I shall see you in Stuttgart.